There's no such thing as a discrete audience anymore. What you say to one, you say to all, and you say it instantaneously. As soon as it's out of your mouth, or as soon as you put it on Twitter, it's gone. Now, I know that's self-obvious, everybody gets that, but I don't think, while we get it tactically, we get it strategically. We don't necessarily understand that you get one shot at a message, and you got to make it universal, and you got to make it concise and simple so that everybody can understand it. The best military commander that I saw who understood this really well was General John Allen when he was the commander of the ISAF mission in Afghanistan. I had an opportunity to go out and help him for a couple of months. He was in between spokesmen, and I was the co-spokesman for Secretary Panetta. He had two of them, and they could spare me, so I went out for a couple of months to Kabul just to help him get through the gap. And I'd really never worked with General Allen much before. We didn't know each other very well. But I grew to just have enormous respect for him. And how many of you have served in Afghanistan? I'll look at all those hands. So this will probably resonate with you. He knew that everything he did sent a message. Not just everything he said, everything he did sent a message. And he also knew that the message was sent to the capitals of Europe, to Washington, D.C., to the Taliban, to the Afghan people, to village elders, all at the same time. And so when he tasked the themes and messages out to his strategic communication shop, he did it with that in mind, that as soon as ISAF said something, or as soon as ISAF reacted to something, it was going to be consumed in all these different places, and people in those different places were going to have a view, sometimes a different view, of that theme or message, but that it had to be the same. Whatever he said to one, he had to say to all, and he had to say it instantaneously. I remember just when I got there was when, you might remember this, when those Qurans and religious materials were inadvertently put in an incinerator. And then that led to protests in and around the base, and then I think it was at Bagram, and then also elsewhere throughout the country. One of the first things that General Allen did, and you might remember this, he got on an airplane and he flew to some bases. And he took a camera crew with him, a NATO camera crew. He couldn't, small plane, he couldn't take a lot of reporters. But he had his remarks documented on video. And when he went and he told the troops, this isn't who we are. This was a mistake. We'll get through it. This is not who we are. This is not about the mission. This is not what we're here to do. And we're going to rebuild the trust and confidence that we're beginning to lose now with respect to this incident with the Afghan people. He was forceful. He was clear. He was direct. And that video, he was smart enough to get it recorded and to get it out there on social media instantly. And it made headlines immediately back home. Some of you may remember seeing it. His lecture to troops out in the field about this incident. But it did a lot to calm the tensions now. Did it stop every protest? No, it didn't. And I don't think he expected that it would. But it certainly calmed the tension. It certainly led to a decrease in the violence. And it was all based on a very simple message delivered in real time, delivered authentically from the commander, and done, again, with an eye towards documenting it and pushing it out there.